so far this season. Strangely enough, just one sack today, that by John Bowman. Here's Coburn out of the backfield, and Cornegay pushes him out at midfield.
That is strange because both defenses playing quite well. I mean, so I think the defensive lines at times, especially Montreal's, has been dominant in this game. So that to give just one sack is strange. Of course, there's been hits where the ball has come out a bunch, so those could have turned into sacks if not for fumbles.
4 yards for Coburn. It's 2nd and 6. Back to Coburn again. First down run for Avon Coburn. As Stevie Baggs makes the tackle. Trying to strip the football again.
You know, good teams and well-coached teams, what they do is when they come in with the game plan, Mark Trestman, like most coaches, will script the first few plays. Well, the Rider defense, they were ready for those plays, and they played well in that first few series. But good coaches make adaptations as they go along. They change things up. Scott Milenovich, the offensive coordinator, has watched the first half. This offense is starting to roll now.
Saskatchewan trying to put the brakes on it. Calvillo dumps it off, and there's Capoon tossed down by Sean Lucas. Another Alouette first down. They're rolling.
It's all about adjustments. If the defense is playing a certain style, defense is playing certain coverages, whether it be man-to-man coverage, they go to zone coverage. It's about how you adjust and then come out in the second half with your same playbook, but different plays that work against what you're seeing this afternoon. And Mark Trestman is one of the masters at making those adjustments.
Calvillo with time, another completion. S.J. Green the catch, and he is dropped inside the 20-yard line.
The other thing is, we mentioned that the lack of first downs from the Saskatchewan offense. This defense has got to start to be tiring. I mean, you can't be on the field as much as they've been. It's hot down on that field level. And I want to show you an example of this. Omar Morgan is one of the sure tacklers in Canadian football at corner. This tackle is routine for him on the sideline, and he missed. When you start to miss tackles, you're starting to get tired.
And Humidex in the mid-30s. 1st and 10 from the 18. Calvillo throws another fastball into the flat for Kerry Watkins.
Anthony Calvillo knocking on the door to move ahead of Ron Lancaster.
Kerry Carter in the 2nd quarter. And just a few minutes ago, Kerry Watkins, a 55-yard touchdown grab. And he has remained hot since that point. Trying to make a statement here in Regina against the CFL's other unbeaten team. Looking for the end zone, and now rolling, flag down. Calvillo throws it away. And the Alouettes signaling that this penalty is against somebody in that Saskatchewan defensive backfield.
The way that Anthony Calvillo reacted looked like it'll be an illegal contact on the receiver somewhere down the field, because he was looking right at the receiver that was contacted.
Illegal contact. Saskatchewan, number 15. Penalty is half the distance to the goal and a first down.
Lance Fraser.
Another sign of fatigue, Chris, is penalties. And we've seen it now on the defense. We saw it earlier on the offense. There's Lance Fraser right there. Ben Cahoon tries to get inside. You can see he just basically pulls him to the ground.
So it's 1st and goal at the 7. Calvillo perhaps looking for 333. No, Coburn up the middle, and that was easy. Avon Coburn, touchdown.
Well, I think this is really a combination of a couple of things. The great adjustments made by the Alouette offense. Scott Milenovich, the offensive coordinator, to find some plays in the playbook. to start to find some weaknesses in this Saskatchewan defense, and also that the Rider defense is starting to fatigue. But Scott Milenovich has made some nice adjustments. He's got the ball out of Anthony Calvillo's hands. He's mixed some things up. That tight end formation with Cahoon as a tight end and Kerry Watkins as a wide receiver that worked for the touchdown, that was a beauty.
Back-to-back touchdown drives. Coburn has his third major of the season. Duval adds the extra point. It's 29-8 at a hushed Mosaic Stadium. Here in the opening 9 minutes of the third quarter, Avon Coburn has his third touchdown of the season. And the Alouettes suddenly have a 21-point lead.
And they've shown the league that they can get out to a fast start and hold the lead, and they can also work their way back from being behind and grind out a game to get to a lead.
Duval sends it downfield into the end zone, and they will concede another single point. It's 30-8, and make no mistake about it, Anthony Calvillo and the Alouettes wanted to make a statement here today.
We're going to know we're the best team. And today, I'm tired of saying we are the beast of the East. Today, we are the beast of the CFL.
That was the pregame.
A pregame speech from the leader. And he is basically saying that everyone always says we're the beast of the East. Forget that. We're the beast of the CFL, and let's prove that this afternoon. And they, so far, done a real nice job. 30-8. And they're approaching that amazing 45-point mark per game.
15 times they hit 30 points last year in 18 regular season games. And they've done it in all 3 so far. Chris Jones with a catch, his first of the day, a short catch, and the Rough Riders just trying to get something ignited on offense.
They just want to give their defense a rest at the very least. I mean, that's probably priority 1.
And you know, Glenn, much of the pre-game talk was about staying on the field so Anthony Calvillo wouldn't have time to put points on the board, but they've had 8 2-and-outs in 12 possessions. Here's a pass caught, but Cates is surrounded and took some punishment and lost his helmet. And Shea Emery's been around the football a lot this afternoon.
You know, and I don't by any means take anything away from Montreal right here. They're playing tremendous on defense. Front four has really dominated, and they've been hitting like this. I mean, they gang tackling, lots to the ball, heads are flying. But this is not an excuse. But the Saskatchewan offensive line is a makeshift group right now. They wanted to start the season with Belton Johnson, Gene Mikowski, O'Day, McGrath, and Smith. It's far from that. At O'Day, Parento, Mira, Best, and Harris.
Taylor at his 32. And Portugay and company, Jocelyn Fournette downfield.
And that's not an excuse for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, because, you know, the Montreal Alouettes, I really believe, have made some tremendous adjustments here. They've come out with some different formations. They're really grinding this game out. They're wearing down the defense. Quick passing game, mixing it up, getting Avon Coburn. Anthony Calvillo has moved the pocket right to left. He's thrown from the pocket on crossing routes. And he's going to his #1 receiver, Kerry Watkins. He already has a touchdown, finishes it off with a nice run. So, made the adjustments. They're starting to wear down the defense.
Back to work from their 34, which for the Alouettes isn't great field position. Kerry Carter off the right side, tripped up.
That just flashed on the screen, but we're going to show it to you one more time, because it may not seem like a lot, but believe me, it's a hot afternoon. Your defense that's out there, the time of possession, very, very important. And that is big-time lopsided for Montreal.
And you heard Ken Miller at the half. He said, my defense is playing lights out, but they just were out in the field too long. Average start for the Alouettes in the first half, the 49-yard line. So they've had great field position all day. And that pass incomplete as Eddie Davis with the hit jarred the ball loose. And the defense gets a stop, and they need that. with just over 18 minutes left.
We'll see if that can sort of fuel up the offense, see if they can get going. Again, though, the makeshift offensive line, tough for Saskatchewan offensive group to get their thing going and get some first downs. Gary Etcheverry, that defense has played well. 2 busts, though. You don't often see that. Two mental mistakes made that cost them touchdowns.
Duval just gets it away. Already 3 blocks on the year. Here's Dressler back trying to make something happen. And a great tackle there downfield as Weston Dressler is tossed down by Ramon Guzman. Back in the Alouette lineup. Well, TSN's live coverage of the 2009 Open Championship continues tomorrow morning from Turnberry. Final round action beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific. And catch bonus online coverage of holes 9, 10, and 11 exclusively on tsn.ca. And
wow.
How about that story? Retro Week has won 5 British Opens, but this would be the most remarkable if he can do it tomorrow. Durant trying to air it out, and Andy Fantuz won a little hand fight downfield against Billy Parker for a big gain. Parker says he was pushed off. The officials say just a good hand battle.
And Darian Durant is saying, I don't care if they're covered anymore. We've got to try and make something happen, because Billy Parker can't really cover Andy Fantuz any better. He just wins the fight and catches that ball at the high point when it arrives. But Darian Durant saying, coverage or not, we've got to start taking some chances with the ball down the field. Now time is the enemy.
3 catches, 2 other catches called back because of holding penalties. And 2 seems to be the most open receiver for the Rough Riders today. Gates inside, not much there, trying to get to midfield and pushed back by Diamond Ferry, John Bowman. Mark Trestman mentioned last week, collectively he thought his defense swarmed and was physical, and they have been again today.
Well, Diamond Ferry really had a tough week too. He was sick all week and lost some weight. Tried to stay hydrated, was really a question mark coming in, and you could tell it looks like he's really trying to get some oxygen in there. Some big plays, and he's hanging in, playing tough.
2nd and 8, here comes the rush, they'll screen, and Jason Claremont fumbles the football, and the Alouettes are going to get on it. Claremont unloaded on by Karan Williams. 5th turnover of the game for the Rough Riders, now 9 on the afternoon.
Claremont starts in the backfield, fakes like he's going to block from the tight end position, then he just flares out for a little screen pass. Hit by Estelle there, ball flies up, and Karan Williams also involved in that one. Last week in Toronto, Claremont took a knee right in the middle of the back, did not return. See how he's holding the ball out in front of him, though. He's got to secure that football. I have a feeling that not just these 2 teams, but most of the teams in the league, if not all of them, over the next couple of weeks are going to be working on ball control drills.
Yes.
In practice. Protect